Blabs.
Hello. I didn't play with any fireworks yesterday.
What?
Skipped it. Yeah, I decided to watch soccer instead. I was so tired from doing stuff with my family all day. I was like, it's too hot out.
That may be the most un-American statement anybody's ever said. I decided not to play with fireworks, but instead watch soccer.
To be fair, though, I was dressed up red, white, and blue. I took my nephew to the parade. We waved at all the fire trucks and everything. It was a jolly good time, so.
That was the second worst thing an American's ever said when you said it was a jolly good time.
Apparently, we can't talk proper anymore. Okay, yeehaw, it was great.
Yeah, we went out and lit up the fireworks and it was great and the booms. Listen, Blabs, how are you going to celebrate America's independence without blowing up a piece of America? Just saying. How does that happen?
I don't ever touch fireworks because I don't trust myself with them. I like my ligaments.
And your digits.
Yeah, all of them. The great stuff, bro.
Let's do a quick check-in here. John, do you have all your fingers and toes and everything intact? Actually, you're from Canada, so what's it matter?
Never mind.
Exactly. I did not celebrate 4th of July, but we had Canada Day, but I didn't really do anything for that either. Because, these days it's hard to feel proud of Canada, because the whole world is fucking laughing at us right now. But
dude,
no. This is what you do. You'd be like, I ordered my Timmy's. I rented out a moose, and I went off into the sunset with a bottle of maple syrup.
Yeah. I was razzling Meese. I got him in a headlock.
Mm-hmm.
Good. That's good.
Meese it's still just moose, by the way.
I can confirm, John, the rest of the world is indeed laughing at Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Yeah. I saw Craig's mean tweet last night. He's like, thank God I'm not Canadian.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go, America. There have been times
on the West Coast, huh?
What's that?
Do you live in Alberta? That's like the one savior.
No, I'm in British Columbia.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go away.
I'm not happy about it.
Listen, it's a beautiful place. Like, don't get me wrong, absolutely gorgeous. But
yeah.
Good luck.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. Somebody who's not living in crazy Canada, in the free state of America. Hello, Lorena. Great to see you.
Hello from the second craziest state in the union, where we set off fireworks until like 2 a.m.
What's the number one?
California, of course.
Oh, okay. See, we have our contrast. Yeah, I was gonna say, so you obviously are in Florida, and there's California, and you guys are the total contrast. And somehow, somewhere in the middle, I'm just hanging out down here in North Texas, just hanging out, waiting for the rest of the world to catch up with how great things are. We're glad you guys. Cool. Texas is pretty awesome. Not gonna lie. Listen, if you ever met somebody from Texas, just wait a few minutes. They'll tell you about it. It'll be great. We're all very proud of being from Texas. Well, we're glad you guys have joined us today on this extended holiday weekend. We're not taking any breaks here at Side Scrollers, only on Thursday, which is, we're hanging out here. So good for everybody. Glad everybody's got their fingers intact, hopefully. But I'd like to remind you guys, we are, speaking of like freedom and stuff, make sure you guys go follow us over at rumble.com/Side Scrollers. Yes, Blabs, more thumbs up right there. More of it. Keep going, Blabs, keep going.
It just looks like I'm pulling titties now, though.
There you go. That could be a regular thing on the show. That'd be great, Blabs. Thank you.
What?
No, just giving thumbs up.
Oh, I thought you were saying, I have an idea. Touch grass. We go to the farm. Craig pulls tits.
What?
Here, get up before I am. Go pull some titties. Not almonds, though. They don't have titties. Real titties, cows, or goats. Whatever.
Guys, I don't know if I can deal with Blabs today.
Hello.
She's kind of...
We need a milking stream, Craig. A full 2 hours.
2 hours.
Yeah. I feel like he'd be like really tired after that.
All right. Well,
we can go to one of the ones that robots. That'd be cool.
We are discussing a touch grass week here on the channel, which I think would be really fun. Maybe we'll figure out a day to do that, or a week to do that, and we just need to think of things to do throughout the week. So whether it's the beach, whether it's grilling, whether it's milking cows, I don't know. We'll figure it out because, hey, whatever. And while we're doing that, we can talk about how crazy the world is while we're milking cows, which will be good, Blabs. But yes, we are live over at Rumble. Hit the follow button. Join us over there. We also have an X account where you could have found out that John and Lorena were going to be on the show with us today. If you just hit the follow button and join us at Side Scroller Pod over at X. And of course, we have an Instagram account, don't we, Blabs?
We do, so follow us for memes and clips of the memes and clips of the show. Otherwise, I don't know, some fireworks are going to blow off your fingers.
Speaking of fireworks, like I got some crazy thunder going on outside right now. This is interesting. Well,
make it louder so we can have ASMR.
Can I just ask a question? Why people are getting their fingers off with fireworks? Do we not read the directions? Because honestly, as a kid visiting my relatives in Florida where they sell illegal fireworks all over the place, you know how to work around that, actually.
So here's the thing. Lorena, it comes down to one thing: ego. You hold a black cat or an M80, you want to hold that thing for the longest time you possibly can before you throw it off. Right?
True.
You want that fuse and you go, oh, and then you toss it off. You're staring at that fuse right in your face. I mean, if that thing explodes, it's gonna take off your finger, your thumb, and your eye, right? But you're over there, you're holding it. You got to get rid of that thing. So I'm just saying, it comes down to pride, stupid male ego. And that's why most people lose digits.
Men don't read
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I know for
alcohol.
me, I'm like, if it's out the danger zone, if it's okay, too close. All right, screw that. Throw that. We'll light another one. Try that.
What's that, John?
Well, people get carried away. They get drunk. They're partying. Combined with the ego thing.
That is true.
I'm curious. So do we have anybody who has lost a digit from fireworks that watches us? And if you do, we'd love to hear your story. We'll bring you on to
Craig. He doesn't have all his toes.
I have all of my fingers, most of my toes. What am I doing? Lighting off a firework with my toe? What if
you're ambidextrous or something? You're between your big toe and all. You're yeah.
When did you realize, oh crap, this is not going to end?
When my toe was sitting over there.
Look, Mom, no hands.
Yeah, all right. Well, once again, if anybody has lost a digit while setting off fireworks, please let us know. We would love to have you on the show. You can tell us your story. But you can also tell it over at kick.com/sidescrollers. And you can listen to the show over on Apple Podcast and Spotify. And of course, you can find us over at sidescrollerspodcast.com, which redirects to our locals page. And you can watch me reacting to Bloodsport, one of the greatest 80s movies of all time. It is free for everybody. Come on over there, and we're doing a little movie watch along over there. Did that on Wednesday. And I'll tell you what, that movie, as ridiculously dumb as it is still amazing to watch. Love me some Bloodsport. John, you a fan of JCVD?
Oh yeah, dude. My personal JCVD favorite is Time Cop.
Oh, really?
I cannot not laugh at that movie every time I put it on. It's so funny. But Bloodsport, yeah, great stuff.
Maybe we turn this into a JCVD watching series where we just watch all of his movies. I think that'd be, or maybe Laz, we can do a Charles Bronson watching party with you.
He's the Australian guy, right?
Okay, look. If you don't know who Charles Bronson is,
gosh, what?
He's the director.
What? Labs, if you don't know who Charles Bronson is, Dean Cain will never come back on the show.
Yeah, but that's the whole point. I keep yelling Charles Bronson is the Australian guy to make him mad. And Gabe. Don't worry, they'll come back on.
Those are fighting words.
I know. It's ridiculous.
Well, no, Charles Bronson is literally an Australian dude. That's legit. There is a Charles Bronson in Australia.
Yep, I'm sure there is a Charles Bronson somewhere in Australia. Yes.
No, but there was a movie on him.
Uh-huh. Hey, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button for more Charles Bronson content over here on YouTube. The 86,800 normal men who love Charles Bronson.
He was a prisoner. I was right.
That's exactly what we're talking about.
That's his professional name.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure Tom Hardy played as him.
Uh-huh. Yeah, just keep going, Blabs. Keep going.
Biographical film. Yeah, Tom Hardy literally played. Yeah, well, it's still Charles Bronson, isn't it?
Oh my gosh. And let's do our best to get to 1,000 likes and 25 memberships today. My, oh my, I am ready to roll. As hey, right off the bat, coming in super hot. Kratos El Gratos has come in with a massive $50 direct donation right now. He says, "What is this? A pickle for ants? How can we be expected to teach Craig how to learn how to read if he can't even fit inside the pickle? I don't want to hear your excuses. This pickle has got to be at least 3 times bigger than this." That's a nice Zoolander reference right there, Kratos. Appreciate that. Yes, Kratos El Gratos. He's a man of culture. And have you guys seen Zoolander before?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, yes, several times.
Lorena, I knew you were a woman going after my heart, because I'll tell you what. Zoolander's where it's at. Lorena, because you're a woman going after my heart, you get to pick the color today. What do we got?
Oh, let's pick blue for Blue Steel.
Ooh.
Good choice.
Ooh. She's a genius. All right, Kratos, there we go. Thank you very much. Genuinely appreciate that. Kicking off the show in a major way. I would like to make an announcement. Speaking of that massive boobalicious donation, starting on Monday, I thought I kicked this around yesterday on a random Wednesday afternoon when I was like, "Hey, I'd like to go live," and I did. I have this.
No.
Thing of hot sauce here, and it's 16 different flavors. So this is what we're gonna do. Starting on Monday, since we're no longer singing Blabs,
You're welcome.
I will progress through this for every $100 donation. I will progress through this live during the show for the remainder of the month until we get to level 16. It's probably a horrible idea, but I think it would be fun to do, because why not?
Do it.
And then, like 5 minutes after he chugs the first sauce, he runs to the bathroom, never to be seen for the rest of the show.
To be clear, I'm not chugging anything. I'll be putting some on a chip and eating the chip. So we'll see how this goes.
A little bit. I thought you were doing a whole bottle for every 100. I was like, you're gonna die today, bro.
No, that's insane. No.
That's why I think he's going to the bathroom, never to be seen from again.
Yeah. Let's not be dumb here. All right, we're having a good time, and I think
The
it'll
one
be fun.
chip challenge, says RapNet. That's a good name for it.
Yeah, the hot sauce chip challenge. It'll be good.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Alan came in with a $10 direct donation. Says, "Hope everyone had a great 4th of July. Los Angeles doesn't give an F about illegal fireworks. The sky was lit up by it, so I have a great time." Hail High Scrolls. Alan, great stuff, man. Yeah. Remember a few years ago in 2020 where they're like, "You can't shoot off fireworks because of racism," and then like everyone just shot them off anyways. It was pretty awesome.
Those in California not care about anything illegal, so it's fine.
Right. Like, why would they care about fireworks when you could steal up to like $500?
Yeah, you can literally be there illegally yourself. Like, what is it?
That's California for you. They want to save the whales, but God forbid you should light up a sparkler or something like that. I'm so glad I no longer live there.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even deal with that nonsense. Did you live in? How long did you live in California?
I lived in LA for 5 years.
Oh man! And
How'd you live?
Yeah. When did you get out?
I got out.
Was it pre-COVID or after COVID?
Oh no, it was way pre-COVID. Pre-COVID. Like I actually voted for Arnold Schwarzenegger and then left the state because yeah. You don't get 10% of my income after that.
Man, that's the thing I don't understand about California is the idea of the ridiculous state income tax that goes along with it. Like Texas, we don't have an income tax right now. A lot of that is there's the property tax obviously outweighs a lot of that stuff, and that's kind of where it balances out. But I just can't even imagine like handing out. Well, here's you make $1 and you're handing over almost 50% of it to the government. It's like, man, what is going on? Just don't even understand it. Anyways, Cajun Corey came in with the 5. Says, "Finger count. Hope everyone still has all their fingers after yesterday. Remember, we're just normal men who love video games and boobs." That's right, Cajun Corey. You know what's up. Appreciate that. But let's go read off Rob on Wheels while I put Kratos on the wall really quick.
All right. Rob on Wheels. Rob on Wheels says, we back, mother truckers. Yeah. Thanks, Rob. Alan says, I might have set off a few illegal fireworks, but I can't confirm. Alan. Don't
Let's
confirm.
go.
But we know you did. Charizard says, Labour Party swept UK elections. Dark times ahead. Oh.
I'll say this, anytime that there's a reaction in any sort of election, like I said, I'm not a super political person at all, but I'll say this, most elections are reactions to the previous time period, right? That they had in power. So obviously the people who got voted out, they clearly didn't do enough, or they did a really poor job. So, one or two things happened right there. So, and I think that's probably what's going to happen in this election. We'll see.
On the other note, I just saw that Scotland has quietly halted puberty blockers, so that's a win for kids.
Good.
The worthy one says, Lorena, your response to Alyssa Mercante's challenge had me dying. I'll fight that heifer. Did you call her a heifer?
Indeed. Yes, I did. In the South, it's considered to be very poor breeding to call somebody the B word. So heifer is an acceptable one to use.
Nice.
So
it suits pretty well.
Just to be clear, are you willing to fight? You're willing to fight Mercante?
Oh, I'm not saying that.
Oh, okay. Okay. I wasn't sure. So okay.
Craig about to call up Keem. I have a component for you. Let's work.
An opponent blast?
Oh, opponent, not component.
Not a component.
I have a piece for you. Sorry, it's Friday.
It is Friday. Coming off a holiday. It's okay. We're just going to make our way through this.
I have this piece. Anyway, Talk of the White for 2 says, keep on digging that Bronson hole, Blabs. Listen, I know he's some actor, whatever, but the other Bronson, I'm right, an Australian prisoner dude. Did a lot of weird shit. Mike for 5 says, did Lorena ever watch the George Lucas Indiana Jones South Park episode?
No, I that might have been the period of time when I stopped watching South Park for a while because it just got too out there for me. So I'll have to go back and watch that. I did watch the Kathleen Kennedy episode though.
Yeah, that was good. I saw bits of that.
I saw that.
Nick says, happy 4th of July, everyone. Craig, are you going to continue your series of playing everyone NES game?
Pretty much playing every NES game. Yeah, I did that several years ago. I went down and I played every NES game for about 5 minutes, and I gave it a review score. No, probably not. If I was to do that, I'd move on to something else other than the NES. But I am looking for something new to do on stream over on the Side Scrollers Plays channel. So we'll see what happens there. I'm thinking about playing something newer than kind of classic stuff. Or, I kind of met in the middle with DuckTales Remastered recently, whereas, a classic game that was remastered. Some remasters would be fun to do. But I don't plan on doing anything like that right now. So,
Drew says, Kumites?
Kumite.
What is this?
I was waiting for you to book this.
Oh, God.
Kumite. This is from Bloodsport Labs.
Right, okay, well. Ta-da! Thanks, Drew.
Kumite.
John is so unamused with me right now.
Go watch that right now. It's over on the
I forgot that was a line from Bloodsport. It's been a while since I saw it.
Kumite.
I was thinking what it was.
Oh my goodness. Holy moly.
Oh my gosh. They even talk about the Kumite and the Boondocks. Episode of the Boondocks.
Kumite is legendary. I don't even know if it's a real thing, but it's legendary. At least it was from Bloodsport. Hey, speaking of legendary, Kratos El Gratos, this is stupid, is funding the show today with a $150 direct donation. Says the pickle is 3 times bigger and I have the biggest one today. I wore the American Pride shirt in Austin yesterday and I actually got some compliments. Very unexpected. Let's go, Kratos. Yes. Once again, you guys can still pick it up. The American Pride t-shirt. Go pick it up right now. Listen, it doesn't need to stop because it's July 4th. We're gonna have this shirt available forever for everybody. So go pick it up right now. Yeah. Go pick up that American Pride shirt. Kratos, thank you so much for that extreme generosity. Go America. Let's go. And Aiden also, holy moly, came in with a $50 direct donation. Look at that, Aiden. Look at that. Says, hey everyone, I was at the gym working at the same on the same old stair machine and same level 10. I was on it for 47 minutes and I'm getting thin. Then I went to my workplace to eat breakfast with my brother. Then I'll do something fun later today. Hello, Lorena. All right. Let's go, Aiden. Hey, way to go. 47 minutes on that stair machine. Way to go get it, buddy. Way to go get it. And go get skinny. 47 minutes. That's got to be working on a stair machine. That's got to be close to 1,000 calories right there. That's pretty good
You know
stuff.
what I hear people do when they're really unmotivated to doing the stair machine? They blast John Williams' Star Wars music when Anakin's going to go raid the temple. So they start marching to John Williams' Star Wars music, and I'm like, I want to do that one day. I'm gonna go kill some younglings with my Slayer 9000.
Wow, I usually blast either Public Enemy or Guns N' Roses when I get to that point.
Well, John, do you have some workout music that you're into?
I listen to a lot of like synthwave stuff, you know, and classic like 80s rock and stuff like that. Yeah.
Awesome. Love it. All right. And one last thing before we move on. I want to let you know I had a sale yesterday over at bluebonnetsupplements.com. I'm going to extend it into the weekend. If you use promo code FREEDOM, you get 25% off all orders over $75. Link to that is down below. Go check out Bluebonnet. There's a logo in the upper right corner. Let's see. I think I have some sort of graphic, but either way, well, that's okay. Just go check it out, bluebonnetsupplements.com. If you guys are looking for accountability, I literally take them every single day. So go check it out and go be accountable and be like Aiden. Do 47 minutes of Stairmaster and take care of yourself. All right, Blabs, let's get into it. What do we have today for Today in Gaming History?
Okay, so today is July 5th, which means Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Lone Wolf was released 2002. What are you laughing at? I don't know why you're laughing at me, but anyway, The Lord of the Rings, The Battle for Middle-earth, aka Craig's specialty, was released back in 2006. And then I found this very interesting. There's a video game called Bitcoin Mining Tycoon, and that is 6 years old, releasing back in 2018. And I just think it's a thing of the times that we have a Bitcoin mining tycoon game now.
Hold on. I gotta be honest. If you instead of playing Bitcoin like mining today in 2018, if you just would have started actually mining Bitcoin in 2018, you would have been absolutely killing it. Like you would do. Oh my gosh, that is amazing. So I want to go back and see what the let's see. One day I'm using the calculator right here to see where Bitcoin was in 2018, because if that's the case, good Lord,
they would have been wealthy.
Yes, they would have been ridiculously wealthy, stupid wealthy. Anyways, it would have been nuts. So don't play Bitcoin mining in 2018 and go out and, in retrospect, that would have been a better decision with your time. But I can't imagine they would have sold a whole lot of copies.
Did you guys play Lord of the Rings?
No, I don't play that
well,
one.
some of the chat did, so at least this one's for them then.
Good. Excellent. All right. Also excellent. Wow, look at this. Winterfell with a $49.99 American super chat. Says the 4th of July isn't just a day, it's an idea, a normal man idea. Cheers to all you for your incredible work. I'd back Craig in Bloodsport any day. Hey, thank you very much. Appreciate that, Winterfell. I would be knocked out and dead in about faster than the record that you saw John Dukes do, when he kicked that guy in the face and went like this, and he fell back and whatever. It was great. Winterfell, thank you so much. That's spectacular and much appreciated.
Winterfell gets the boobs.
Yeah, give it to him. There you go. Just give him. Look at that, Winterfell.
Ta-da! Lorena's like, I've never seen so many boobs on the stream in my life.
I'm not averse to boobs. Here's my story. Okay, so living in Los Angeles, okay, you see so many fake boob jobs to the point where I'm like, okay, you had a good surgeon, you had a horrible surgeon. Those look nice. Those look pretty nice. So it really doesn't. Boobs don't really bother me too much.
Lorraine, and the fact that she's like, those are nice.
Well, then
True story though. Okay, so when I moved back to Philly, all right, so I would go to Hooters. I worked in engineering. Go to Hooters because yes, they do. They have good wings. So I would go with a bunch of guys from work, right?
Mm-hmm.
And one of them was like, "Okay, I'll ask you, our waitress, are her boobs real or not?" And I'm looking. I'm like, they're fake, but they're really good. So whoever did them did a really good job.
Okay, then this has been an ongoing discussion on the show. All right, are hers real, or are they not?
I don't know. The
I think they're
profile looks
fake.
okay. They could possibly be fake, but see, you're covered up to here, so it's like I can't make a definitive assessment. It's in the category because usually if you have really nice boobs, you don't have to shake them like that. People can just see them and understand that they're cool. So yeah.
What are your
Well,
thoughts?
I have a question about that TikTok actually, because she's obviously doing that deliberately.
Yes, really.
With every single word, right? But like, I'm wondering if like she's knows that the audience knows that, or is she just like,
yes, she does.
This is just the way I talk. Oh, I didn't
No,
realize. Like,
that is obvious.
She's like,
That is
everything
freaking
will.
obvious. That's as obvious as Betty White doing the thing where that's on purpose. Okay.
So the background on that, John, is that she did a video and they were kind of bouncing, right? And all the comments were like, "Why are you bouncing up and down when you talk?" And her thing was like, she was saying, "Yeah, they bounce up and down," and she was just in that video in particular, she was being very like purposeful from it. But in the first video, she wasn't. She was talking about it. So that video, that's why.
Yeah.
She was.
Oh my god.
All right. Listen, we could sit here and have this wonderful conversation every single day. As a matter of fact, I think we should break down and have this conversation possibly every day. Maybe bring Lorena on for 10 minutes and just have boob talk. We'll see. Lorena, by the way, I'd like to welcome everybody who's watching on Lorena's channel. If you guys are tuning in to Side Scrollers, welcome on out. Appreciate you syndicating out today, Lorena. So you guys welcome on out. Glad everybody's found us, and thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you guys. Make sure you guys say hi in your chat over there. And of course, you guys can find us Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Central Time over here on the main channel, Side Scrolls Podcast. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for my favorite segment, your favorite segment, everybody in the world's favorite segment. It's time for hard news.
Vote for me is a vote for boobs.
Sorry, I just wanted to.
Wrong clip.
You know, I do feel like there's an opportunity here to have hard boobs for like a segment called that.
It's time for
titties.
Time for titties.
That's right. Excellent. All right. In the world of video games, we actually have a birthday today, which is pretty cool. A long-standing, like when you talk about companies that have been around in the video game space, this is one of the oldest companies, and we're talking about Bandai. Bandai has been around today 74 years. Pretty awesome.
Wow.
Pretty cool stuff. 74 years, obviously, when, they obviously weren't in video games the entire time. But, we're talking about Pac-Man and Dragon Ball Z characters. You can see over here, Digimon and all this stuff. And they were eventually acquired for $1.7 billion in 2005. But been around for a long, long time. Bandai merging with Sega. It's a Sega Bandai, and then Bandai Namco, and been around for a long time. Do you guys have any thoughts on just favorite Bandai games while we're sitting here chit-chatting about this?
I used to have a Tamagotchi.
I was about to say that. Tamagotchi.
I had one too.
And I didn't play any games really other than that. But I watched a lot of like Bandai properties like Digimon and stuff, like cartoons.
Do the Tamagotchis, those are like those little things that you're supposed to
the little keychains.
right?
You gotta
Yeah.
feed them and everything, give them love.
Raise them and everything.
They made them for the Wizarding World, like little magical creatures now. Bandai Namco, pretty cool stuff.
So
Cool.
everybody had one of those except for me, huh?
I had like 4. It was awesome.
Did any of them die?
Yeah.
Yeah, I ignored mine. Well, I bought one for me, and then I bought some for like my nieces and nephews. So they had theirs, you know, all around. But mine died because I didn't have time to like raise it or anything.
They're very needy, but Craig, you can still buy them today. You know, you can go to like your local Walmart and just pick them up.
Oh, well, let me go make a trip right now out and go pick up a.
Why not? Do it for Play's channel. Be
Get
like,
on
this
it.
is me babysitting my Tamagotchi.
Yeah, I'm sure that'd be a big hit.
Maybe it could be like a short segment or something. But I just got an email saying from Loungefly saying that's also another anniversary. I don't think it's this today. I think it's just this year. This might interest only the women. But Barbie is 65 years old this year.
Barbie.
Fun fact. Yeah.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Looking good for 65. I do feel like we're maybe burying the lead. John, did you say you have a Tamagotchi? You had a Tamagotchi as well?
I did, yeah. One of the, I don't know if they make them the same anymore, but it was like a keychain with like a sort of black and white monochrome LED panel, with really low pixel resolution. But yeah, just like a little animated critter, and you play with it and you feed it and keep its stats up, that sort of thing.
I think they give them color now, and like there's like an extra button or something. Yeah.
Wow. So was there like a feed button or like a play button? Or
I think it was just like an enter where you just be like you press it, right? I think there was like either like there's 1 or 3 buttons. I can't remember, but yeah.
It was like a selector or something like
Like
that.
an enter.
You push the button and feed, or they take a crap and then you'd have to clean that. Yes, they did. So you would have to clean that up. Yeah, it was one. Yeah. Literally, yes, that's literally.
I'm so glad I didn't experience this. This is wow. All right, crazy.
You seriously never played with a Tamagotchi before?
No, I was not a 12-year-old girl.
Tamagotchi.
At no point, John was ever a 12-year-old girl like John. So. Oh man. Well, maybe we'll have to do. That would be kind of fun. Is it one of those things where as they get older, do they live like? Is it harder to play, or is it just like a maintenance thing?
It's kind of like a maintenance.
I think it's just
Yeah.
So maybe, what if? And this is just a big what if. All right. What if I purchased everybody a Tamagotchi, right? And the idea was that we can do like a Mr. B style thing. Whoever keeps their Tamagotchi alive the longest wins something.
Yeah, let's do it. I'll win against Craig for sure.
Blabs would go,
I did that.
Blabs would go hyper autistic on it, and
Yes.
just staring at this thing all day.
I want to win, damn it.
Why won't you grow? Why don't you eat? You keep pooping too much. Anyways, yeah. Speaking of pooping too much, let's move on to our next story.
How does that tie in?
I don't know. Sometimes they just say, speaking of whatever it is we just said, and it somehow magically ties in if you just figure it out. I don't know. It's not my job to connect the dots for people, but I think connect the dots here. Listen, I don't think you guys were on when this was when this happened, but I'm going to play one sound effect, and the chat who have been watching this show for several months will immediately know this shrieking sound. That may be the worst sound in history.
It's back.
And those who know what that's from in the chat, I want you to, I can expect to see a number of men just slowly powering down in the chat. As,
Chat's like, no.
I
I'll
don't
play
know
it one
what
more
that
time
is.
for everybody. Yes, if you're wearing headphones, sorry. Couple months
I've heard
ago.
it before, but sorry, go
What
ahead.
is that?
No, it's just like, no.
I have PTSD.
Yep.
More disturbing.
Now, Blabs.
I have the
Blabs
urge to
speaking-
like kill whatever that was.
Yes. Blabs,
The
please
only response.
give us a recap, if you will, of why people would know that sound.
That sound is of a woman laughing and how she and her boy toy are swingers and they meet up at Disney Park to find other swingers. And she goes,
So what is their name?
Lorena's like, I'm gonna go now.
What was the name?
I'm done.
Blab?
Mm-hmm.
What was the name of their group?
Twink and a redhead.
So this wonderful group. Well, I'll tell you, I woke up this morning with a note about their latest foray, and Blabs was like, "I can't believe I found this. I'm so excited to see this. Look at this. I can't wait to show you this."
That's not what happened.
Exactly what happened.
No, it's not. I found it by accident.
Okay, how did you find this first and foremost?
Right. So I follow this guy on Instagram, and what he's famous for is like parodying pop culture movies. And so the audio was from the Twink and the Redhead. And I'm like, this sounds so familiar. Why do I know this? So I clicked on the audio, and it leads you to the original source on Instagram. And I was like, oh my god, it's them. So I was like, I went down a rabbit hole. I was like, I forgot all about these people. I forgot they existed. So yeah.
Well,
they are.
Did you say that happened at Disneyland or Disney?
Yes.
Something.
Disney.
Is that really the place for that? Swinging.
Wait. Disney. I'm sorry. You said Disneyland?
Yeah, in Florida, wasn't it? Whichever one that is, World.
No, Disney World is in Florida. Disneyland is in California. But I will say this much: I am not surprised.
Oh, there's a lot of weird people who go to Disney.
There's a lot of weird
there's a lot of weird ish that goes on, and some stuff that I've witnessed just hanging out at one of my favorite bars at the parks. Well, actually, one of the resorts. Just listen to the conversations of people who meet each other at
you
the bar.
You should go undercover.
Listen to the conversations.
I
see stuff.
Great content for you to be like, what the hell?
Yeah.
So these people are back. They have released a music video to foray their wonderful exposure, their virality. They have released a music video in an attempt to expand their reach and possibly find new friends at Disney. We'll see. And they see themselves as a oh my god, I just switched over my screen to look at this. Hold on, let me just show you this. That's all I'm gonna show. That's all. Sorry.
Yikes.
Sorry.
Oh.
Okay, they released a music video originally found on Instagram, and I'm just gonna tell you this right now. I watched the first 30 seconds of this. I watched it, so y'all have to as well. And the tie-in here is Disney World. So here we go. This is from Grant and Ash, the official music video of a Twink.
No, Craig. No.
And a redhead.
All right, let's see it.
I'm sorry.
No. Go ahead. I'm just fucking around.
I'll say right now, I've seen worse in West Hollywood. So
Lorena's
this is
actually
pretty
studying
light.
Everybody, she's like, those are real, those are fake, those are real.
Oh my gosh. All right. Look, I'm sorry. Just give me about 20 more seconds, guys. We're going to get to the really bad stuff.
There's two kinds of personalities. There's the real and there's the fake. Pick one. Just pick one.
Okay, that's all we need. That's all.
Oh my gosh, that is. Do better, y'all. I mean, do better.
Oh my god.
It's horrible. Oh my gosh.
So
I actually found Craig's new ringtone. It's called a Twink and a Redhead.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Oh, I know what I'm torturing the Dark Council with next year.
Great.
Screensaver right there. There
Oh
it is.
yeah,
Right
100%.
That's good. Oh my gosh. Oh, hey, rightfully so. Oh, there you go. Good. The tomatoes are being tossed at the screen. That's good.
Deserved this time.
Rightfully so. Yep.
Oh my gosh. Oh no, Nappernill's out.
No.
No. I'm sorry. Oh no. All right, well, let me see if we can bring you back in. Anyway, I would just like to thank Blabs thank you, Blabs, for that.
welcome.
And if you have a problem with that, guys, then don't take it up with me. Take it up with our HR person, Blabs.
Hi. Fun fact, though, I did email them ages ago to come on the show, and they never respond back to me.
Well, they're too.
I guess they're
big
doing fine without us. But what was the ratio for that video, by the way?
So here's the craziest thing about this, is that I guess this is their audience. Now they have 7,000 subscribers over on YouTube. That video has 92,000 views, and I got to be honest, it has been received pretty well. Almost 9,000 likes right there, and only 400 downvotes. And some people were like,
Good for them.
No accounting for taste. Just saying.
So good on them. Good on them. Congratulations to Grant and Ash with their hit song, "A Twink and a Redhead."
A redhead.
See, there.
Mark says I'll have extra girl discipline Blabs. I feel like there might be some might made there. Oh my god,
Hey, Mark.
Right. Oh my god. Hey, Blabs, if we can just get you and X-Ray Girl to recreate that entire video shot for shot.
She can be the redhead because she's Asian. It'll work.
Blabs, I don't know if you're going to be wanting to be wearing this while you're
Oh shit! Well, neither one of us should be wearing that.
Oh my gosh. Hey, look at this. Alan came in with a massive $50 super chat. How fortunate are we? Hey, Blaz, please read that off while I put Alan on the wall.
Alan says Lord of the Rings video game on PC was the shits, I'm assuming. Now show some titties. I'm just a normal man after all. An innocent man. And fake boobs are whack. Although fake butts are even worse. All right, well, here's the boobs for you.
All right.
There you go.
Good for you. Look at that. Congratulations, Alan. I feel like we need to get a little more variety here. This girl's great. I mean, don't get me wrong. But
what do you want me to do? Go and find more fake titties on the internet for you? And just have like a whole thing on StreamYards? Like boobs 1.
It shouldn't
boobs
be
2,
hard.
Boobs 3.
Do you act like that's a weird request or something?
It kind of is, I'm not going to lie.
But to be clear, Labs, I've not requested that. I think that you are implying that it'd be a good search for you to do.
You just requested it. You're like, I think we needed more variety here. That was all on you.
Hey, John, did I request that at any point?
Boob variety or in this episode?
Yeah. Well, did I ask Blabs to do anything? Did I ask Blabs to go find stuff?
I don't know about earlier. Weren't you just talking about getting more?
Yeah, but I didn't ask her to do it. I'm just saying.
You floated the suggestion out there.
I'm just saying, hey, it may be a good idea to do this. You know, well, look.
Well, maybe we do need a palette. There's a lot of boobs out there.
Listen, maybe we should go for Morgue Pie. She seems to really like putting her boobies on the internet.
I'm just saying, it's ridiculous. Speaking of variety, let's go over to Baskin Robbins and their 31 flavors. See, that's a transition, Blabs. Let's go. Hey, so Baskin Robbins in Japan, not in America, has released brand new flavors for Super Mario Brothers. Which, hey, cool. That's fun and exciting. Check it out.
Oh,
we got ourselves some Mario themed flavors and packaging, which is exciting. So we don't know what the flavors are, but
yeah, I'm not so sure about plumber flavored ice cream, but
yeah,
maybe
right.
It'll be good.
This is not mint chocolate chip down here. This is just what you get out of the drain, right?
Yeah.
But
I bet you they're actually really good flavors, though.
I think you're
Probably.
hard pressed to find flavors that aren't good at Baskin Robbins, but Baskin Robbins Japan, they have some weird flavors over there. Just throw it out there. Japan definitely, they have like red bean and soy and
red bean's not that bad though. You can find that here in America and stuff.
Yes, it is. I don't ever want to eat red bean ice cream ever again in my life.
Well, not ice cream, but like the red bean itself is not bad. I've never had red bean ice cream.
No,
I've had little things in Chinatown.
Unless it's red beans and rice, that's the only incarnation I want in red beans.
We need to get to Disney talk here in a little bit because I saw you tweet out the other day about the was it the gumbo that they served with sweet potatoes over?
Yeah.
What is that nonsense at Epcot, right?
That's at the Magic Kingdom.
Serving.
For Tiana's Bayou Adventure, I'm like, why are you serving that to any living person? I don't get it.
I'm
offended. As a Creole, I'm highly offended.
I'm offended for you. As somebody who spent lots of time in Louisiana and had lots of gumbo in my life, I'm going to be honest. I'm upset. I'm upset for you. I'm offended for you, Lorena. Please allow me to be.
Thank you. Please do. Please.
John, you ever had Creole? Ever had any Creole cooking or gumbo before?
No, I don't think so.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you this: it's not served with sweet potato fries. It's served with rice.
No.
Yeah.
Serve with what? Sorry, rice.
Rice.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Gumbo is kind of it's like a soup. It has like okra and sausage and chicken and shrimp and all sorts of stuff.
Chicken. I don't like okra in mine because okra is nasty unless it's fried or served with tomatoes. But yeah, it's like it's like a soup based shellfish stock, not a fish stock, shellfish stock, and it's cool. You put got the andouille sausage in it. You got the chicken. Some people put tasso ham in it, and then throw in some crab or shrimp or oysters or whatever seafood you got, and have a big mound of rice in the middle with a little parsley on the top, and go to town.
And if you want to get crazy, you can have some French bread to mop it all up at the end, which is great. You know it, John. We need to get you down here. We'll get you down here before Blabs, so we can do we can do some serious eating, right, Blabs?
I like food.
Okay.
Good,
I don't like fish though. So
no, I'm the same. Yeah, I'm not really a shellfish seafood guy,
I like
but like
shrimp.
everything else sounds great. Shrimp. I'm not really a shrimp guy either. But
Hey,
we're disappointed.
everything else
right
sounds good.
now.
Quick side note to put a bow on the Baskin Robbins Japan story. Some people don't realize this, but did you know the logo of Baskin Robbins? This is why logos are awesome. I'm fascinated by logos. Did you know that the Baskin Robbins logo, since it has 31 flavors, most people just see the BR, but there's the 3 and the 1 in the middle.
Ah.
Isn't that crazy?
I didn't notice that before.
31
That's smart.
flavors. Brilliant marketing. It's good stuff. And now
I
that
like
you've
logos.
seen it,
Yeah.
yeah.
I always thought the Nintendo GameCube logo was a stroke of genius. Like the fact that it's a G and a C in the absence, and then a cube in the center. Like, just how did they come up with that? It's brilliant.
Genius.
Just logo design. It's great.
Yeah, fun stuff. Matt's like, people not see this? Listen, you don't know, you don't see it until you don't see it, until you see it, which is crazy. All right. Blabs has an interesting story here. This is SAG-AFTRA has a new health plan, but we're talking about Hollywood actors here, where Lorena escaped from out in LA, and all the SAG-AFTRA folks. Now, on the surface, I was like, what's the big deal about this? But Blabs, you have some good points. Talk to us about this story here.
All right, so basically, SAG-AFTRA is planning on having infertility treatment in 2025 to anyone who's part of SAG-AFTRA. Now, the thing is, if you read it, it doesn't really specify a whole lot of information, except there's a limit of per person. I think it was $30,000. Yeah, family lifetime maximum of $30,000. But here's the thing: SAG-AFTRA is really filled with crazy people who think that they can have children when it's 2 dudes. 2 women. We can't have a baby all of a sudden. Oh no, we're infertile. Whoa, look. All these people are gonna all of a sudden be getting all this free money to have a kid now. So I feel like it's kind of almost enabling people to think gaga. It's okay, so you can't actually have a kid because you need a male and a female. That is biological fact. And this is kind of just throwing that all out the window. To the same point, people who are actually trying to have a child, both a male and a female, and they just are struggling with infertility, this is perfect for them. But I feel like with all things, it's going to be abused, and the crazy people will especially love it. So that's kind of my thing with it. I'm So
it's where the reality aspect of things, where when you're talking about there's now lines of previously things were black and white, and now there's a little bit of gray in there, and all of a sudden when there's that gray just goes in and just smears everything up. And so we'll see how quickly this backfires on them. On the surface, you're like, oh, that's a good thing, more healthcare, that's great, but there's a lot of gray out there now, so we'll see. So
for Star Wars, guys. Need space witches for that nonsense.
You guys got any thoughts on that, Lorena, John?
You go first.
I'm trying to remember what I read through with that article. There's a certain income threshold that you have to meet with this in order to be eligible for these benefits from SAG-AFTRA. And I think it's something like 24,000 or whatever. Here's the thing. 95% of the actors who are represented by SAG-AFTRA are not working. Okay. That's just the pure fact of it. So I don't know. So between that amount or 104 days and considering how many actors aren't really turning over that much money from acting work, I don't know how many of them will be eligible for it. I mean, that's neither here nor there, but that's just kind of what it says. But I agree, it can be abused. I know when I worked in corporate America, one of the benefits that we did have was for infertility treatment. So I agree, just like anything, it can be abused that way. But unfortunately, that's kind of what happens. Like you guys were saying, when things get into that gray area with respect to, social construct. So I get it. It'll be interesting to see if this is even used at all, because for the people who make all that huge money as actors in Hollywood and SAG, they do not need something like this. They have enough money to do this on their own. So it makes me wonder, why are they really doing this now? And why is there this income restriction on it to begin with?
John?
Yeah, I agree. I think I think it can and will be abused. So I think there's a lot of people in Hollywood who have bought fully into the gender ideology, where you can just say you're one or the other and you are that thing. And there's going to be people, like Blabs was saying, where it's just, I can't have children. And it's like, maybe the lack of a uterus has something to do with that. You know what I mean? Like,
maybe.
Like it seems like a cash grab. Yeah.
Well, we'll see where this goes. Like I said, there's a slope, and it's pretty slippery right now. And we'll see how quick. Maybe this is one of those things where they go, "Oh, maybe this wasn't a good idea." But we'll see where it looks like.
Maybe the people who are absolutely batshit insane won't even make this type of money to qualify, like Lorena was saying, because they don't actually work.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. All right, let's move on. Another quick hit here. This actually has to do with everybody on the panel here, and I think this is actually a pretty great thing. Let's check this out. This is from YouTube. We've all dealt with copyrighted music in some way, shape, or form. Now, John, your entire backlog almost has a ton of copyrighted music in it, right? Yeah. Well, there's a new tool that's coming in to where you can actually go and erase the songs using AI while still having your audio in place, which is intriguing. So that you can erase the song and keep all your content back up. John, what are your thoughts on this? Is, like I said, this is something that I think this is a good change. But what about you?
Well, in my case, like the use of copyrighted music, it's not the majority of my catalog. It's like the first couple seasons, and then I started buying licenses for tracks. But what really pisses me off is that YouTube's modern content ID system makes no allowances for that. Like, it doesn't acknowledge all those licenses that I bought. So, these companies that sold me the rights to use these tracks, years down the line, they just register them all with the content ID system on YouTube, and then I get flagged. And then obviously users on YouTube are disincentivized from appealing any claims, because you don't know if they're going to be like, oh, actually, we're right, you're wrong, fuck you.
What's up?
And then you get a strike or something, or, risk your channel getting deleted. And it's just like, that's why I started making my own music, because I didn't want to deal with any of this fucking bullshit, So, and like the technology is interesting, just isolating the track over somebody talking and then just eliminating only the track and leaving their speech intact. I mean, it's impressive technologically, but I wouldn't really want to do that. Not only because it would apply to a lot of tracks that I in fact bought the licenses for, but it would affect the storytelling of the video, right? Because all of a sudden there's no music where I intended for there to be music, like even at the screenplay stage. So I don't quite know how to feel about this. I don't think it's particularly useful to me. I'm sure for some people it'll be a useful tool.
I think this will be useful for, there's a lot of people who've been on YouTube for a long time, and the rules have changed a lot, right? When you look at content that was created in the late 2000s, early 2010s, you'd see a lot of gameplay videos of like Linkin Park, Linkin Park, that was the meme for a long time, Linkin Park music. And, you can now trim that out. Now, a lot of people aren't looking for like Modern Warfare highlight reels like they were in the back of the machinima days.
Just to interrupt, sorry to cut you off, but like I had a gag in Master Chief Sucks at Halo 3 that was making fun of that exact Linkin Park thing. That was just the one clip of the song, "Crawling in my skin, these wounds they will not heal." I just looped that one part over and over again, and it's like, if I use this technology to remove that, the joke is completely gone, right? So like, yeah, I wouldn't use it.
Right. That's there's a lot of truth in what you just said, but I think for the vast majority of folks, this will be a pretty good tool to use on YouTube, right? Mm-hmm. John, your content is much better than most people's, right? And you tell stories with the audio. I've got a bigger question for you though, John. Mm-hmm. If you have a license for the music and you're still getting hit, why aren't you going directly to them and either getting money for your license or you paid for it? Why aren't you going to them and asking about it?
Because I believe the way it works is you have to do it every time with every video. Like, here's the proof that I bought this. Here's the proof that I bought this. Here's the proof that I bought this. Truth is, I'm fucking lazy. And I don't feel like I should have to do this every time. So I'm just like, fuck you people. I'm just going to make my own music, get around this entirely. So I'm lazy.
I love it. Lorena, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think it's a good move or is this indifferent to you?
For me, it's a good move. And here's the reason why. When I am out in the parks, I can run into places where there's being copyright music played, which means my stream gets dinged or gets ineligible for monetization. And it's like, okay, it's not my fault. I walk through there. It's a public performance, and yet you're going to claim the video. So I have to, after my stream, go in. The only options I'm given is to either mute it or clip it out. And I wind up clipping it out. And when you're clipping out a live performance or a stream that's live like that, there's visual parts that are missing that can really disorient the audience. For example, the Tiki Room in Walt Disney World. Okay, everyone likes to hear the song, listen to see what's everything that's going on, and you're jumping from one section to another because I'm getting claimed by Warner Chappell instead. So for me, this is great. I can go in. I haven't tried it yet. I first saw the option actually last night to erase that copyrighted music and just leave, like, say, the audience reaction, my reaction, and what's going on in the attraction. So for that case, it would help me. For the regular streams, the live streams that I do in studio, not really too worried about it. But for things like that, where you're out and about and you don't know whether you're going to get claimed or not, it's a pain in the butt, because it can take like almost, depending on how much you get claimed, it can take almost an hour to like 2 hours to clear all that stuff. And that's extra work that I don't really feel like doing, because it also cuts down the runtime of that stream as well.
Right. Well, I think it's interesting to see kind of the polarities between the two, like with John's content and Lorena's content, how different it is, and we'll see. I think for most people, it'll be a pretty good tool to use, right?
I totally agree, by the way. Like, I completely see the utility in this for other people, and I think it's good. I think it also is good for, like, game streamers, too. Like, if they're playing shit like GTA and with a bunch of licensed tracks,
Yeah.
like, this tool is going to be able to suck all that music out, isolate it and take it out, rather than just chop gigantic chunks of streaming material out.
Like, for anytime I live stream on YouTube, Star Wars Battlefront 2, now that's loaded with John Williams' music. So obviously I'm always getting hit. But the thing is, every time I'll fight it and be like, I'm playing a video game, they'll just give it to me. So there is that aspect. But yeah, I agree with Lorena. I think this will be really great for her. But for some people, it just won't even be an issue in the first place. But for people who live stream at the parks, it's perfect for them. I think it's a great tool.
Cool. Yeah. Well, I mean, YouTube is continuing to create these tools, which, there's a lot of problems with YouTube platform, like lots of them, but they are continuously adapting and evolving. And they've been working on this for a long time, and it's good stuff. All right, let's go back to Hollywood here for this next quick hit here. Once again, if you guys are joining us, hello, great to see you guys. Thanks so much for popping in. Make sure you guys do us a favor. First time watching, hit the subscribe button and join us. We're live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Central Time. We're continuing to go, bringing common sense back to the video game space for just normal men. Speaking of not normal men, Kevin Bacon is the bad guy in the new Beverly Hills Cop movie. Have you guys seen that on Netflix yet?
I've gotten halfway through it. Yeah.
John,
I haven't seen it yet, but I'm looking forward to checking it out.
Okay, I went through it and I binge watched. I knew it was coming, and I binge watched 1, 2, and 3 to get prepped for this because I never really watched through them all, and I was like, oh, that looks pretty fun. So Axel F is the new one, and by the way, I very much enjoyed the new movie. I thought it was pretty good. Like, it was like a 7 or 8 out of 10. It was like a fun popcorn flick, which is exactly what I want for the movies, and I kind of wish it was released in theaters. And it's. I think it's actually. I don't think they will continue it on after this, which is the best thing I can possibly say about it. Right? Beverly Hills Cop 3 was kind of like, what happened? Right? It was so different than
forgettable.
And this one was like a nice. I think this was a nice end to the Axel Foley story, which is good. But that's not what this story is about. This story is about Kevin Bacon, who plays the bad guy in this. Now, let's go to Entertainment Weekly for this. This is outstanding. It says Kevin Bacon disguised himself as a regular person for the day, and he found out that nobody cares about him, which
no kidding.
So he went out. He had all sorts of stuff added to him, prosthetics and all that stuff. Went in and had a fake nose, fake teeth, and glasses. And he went into the tourist-rich Grove shopping complex of Los Angeles, and he said, "Nobody recognized me. People were just kind of pushing past me, not being nice. Nobody said I love you." I had to wait. I had to wait in line too. I don't know, buy an effing coffee or whatever. I was like, this sucks. I want to go back to being famous.
Poor baby. Nobody said I love you. They weren't kissing my feet. They weren't worshiping the ground I walk on. What is this world coming to?
I know.
He went to the Grove, which is in that LA concentrated bubble where all the celebrities go. It's like, dude, go to a real mall. Go to like the Glendale Galleria,
And look, I'm sure he's joking. I'm sure there was some humor in this, right? But at the same time, it's like, yeah, welcome to reality. And this goes back to Lorena, you just said the bubble. We've talked about the bubble all the time. We talked about the bubble in LA, the bubble in San Francisco, the bubble in New York. That's where it's bringing it back to games. That's where all these, journalists live. They live in these bubbles, and they don't realize that people do not live like they do in these tiny bubbles. And it was fun it's fun to see. While he may be joking, there's always some truth and humor. And to see Kevin Bacon come back,
He's true, because I have been in certain places in LA where if a certain celebrity will show up, they'll say, screw you peons waiting in line. No, we have to go and, and pamper this person, which another thing that irritated me about LA. They're like, isn't it awesome when you see celebrities? I'm like, no, I want my freaking coffee. I don't like my hair appointment getting bumped because somebody's going to, the AMAs or the Oscars or whatever the hell it is. So they need my stylist instead. I don't care. But you go outside of that, like I said, go to the Glendale Gallery up in the up in the valley, treat everybody the same, like crap,
Yep. It's almost like they don't live in a reality. It's crazy how that works out. It's maybe social media has done this, right? The idea of really exposing how different people live. When you look at the celebrity culture, the celebrity lifestyle, where they have their heads so far up their own ass that you see this stuff, and it really showcases the great divide of the normal man and the people who live in these bubbles. It's amazing to see, and I've got
a perfect example of that. In soccer, there is a French player. His name's Kylian Mbappe, and he literally was just telling people how to live their lives and who they should and should not vote for. Meanwhile, he's like signing massive contracts for soccer teams, and he's absolutely loaded. And this guy is really young; like he's younger than me, and he's telling like people who are like suffering and in poverty how they should vote and how they should live. And I'm like, do you not see how bad this looks for you? Like, shut up, just play, kick a ball, be quiet. It's the same thing with sports and celebrities. They all have a little silver spoon in their ivory towers, and
yeah.
Like
and you know something about towers, don't you, Blabs?
Yes, I do.
What's that?
I don't think it's not always them deliberately having their heads up their asses. I think like, if you're really rich or working in Hollywood, you're just insulated in this bubble, and you're surrounded by a certain type of people who are going to encourage a certain a lifestyle, way of living. I think there's a bunch of people in Hollywood who, made a movie that did really well, but they're like, I didn't want this. Like, I didn't want to be a Hollywood person. Like, I wanted to just live a normal lifestyle, but like, I feel like I can't now. It's just like I'm in this bubble I can't get out of. Like, there are some people who are just assholes about it and, snobby and whatever. But I think some people are like just trapped,
Sure. I think there's a little truth in that. And it's funny, we're seeing that in the streaming space as well. We were going to talk a little bit briefly about the iShow Speed incident. Did you see that over the weekend with where he was off in Norway? I mean, I was going to talk about that, but I actually just closed the tab. We'll pull it back up as we transition into the next story. This was silly, just nuts. Talk about how people can't live in a regular life. Now, to be clear, Kevin Bacon is not broadcasting his life for everybody to see at all times. He plays a character, and then people gravitate to Kevin Bacon because they like his art. Whereas iShow Speed is an IRL streamer, goes around and he's literally showcasing where he is at all times, which in theory, right, when you're of a reasonable size, that's okay. But he has grown to a point where it's literally not able to be safe. And you saw that this past weekend when he was in Norway. He was out there, and this is like people outside of his hotel here, wherever he's staying. Did you see this, Reina?
No, I haven't.
Okay, this is iShow Speed is massive streamer, probably the biggest streamer in the world, and he's going through Europe right now for the big Euro football, Euro soccer championship that's going on. And this is a couple days ago. He was in Oslo, Norway, and he's just hanging out his window, going crazy, and he kind of hurt himself, right? Jumping up and down, and in doing so, he was like, well, I'm going to leave where he was at. It looks like he was in a store. And he actually gets carried off by a security guard into a car. And this is what happened here. Now, you can see him getting dragged out here, right? He's being held by a security guard and being brought to his car right here. He's got to make his way through this mob.
Oh my gosh.
People grabbing him. This is him right here. And watch this
Are
guy.
people standing on top of the car?
Yes,
No
watch what
respect.
happens. Check this out. I jumped on him.
Oh my God, that's nuts.
They're grabbing his hair as he's trying to be brought in. People on his car. Unreal.
Where are the police though? Like, just saying, there's like a shit ton of people in one little area. Where are they?
Mm-hmm.
That's a weird. They're just not there. You would think they'd be like, "Holy shit, what's going on? Let me go see."
Well, John, you were talking about people who have, they don't really have a choice at this point.
Yeah.
This is kind of like an example where he's almost like brought it on himself. And by the way, here's his perspective of that incident. By the way, I think it is important to, like, this is what led up to that. This is him. Yeah, it is.
Is it?
I hope he like actually makes a stream and says, "You guys are insane. Why are you acting like this?" And actually like give him a piece of his mind. 'Cause that is not acceptable behavior. These people are like animals.
This
Yeah,
is,
well, I
this
think
is in
there's a-
Oslo? Did you say this was in Oslo?
Yeah,
probably.
it was. John?
Okay,
There's-
major city. I don't get it.
I think there's a few things going on here. I mean, one of them is the sort of incongruence between social media and real life. I mean, if you got a million people watching you in your bedroom because you're big on Twitch or whatever, you're not connected with them in a real sense. But like all of a sudden, if you're standing in front of a crowd of that same number of people, that can be seriously overwhelming. And then you have the danger of human beings in crowds or mobs where they behave irrationally and dangerously, right? You got to be really careful with that shit. And plus, IShowSpeed in particular is famous for his sort of insane energy. I mean, I've seen clips of the guy. This is the type of guy who, to celebrate a milestone of his, I think he hit a certain number of subscribers. He like backed up all the way to the back of his bedroom and like dove into his streaming setup. Like just his feet left the ground and he just literally flew into his monitor and computer. Yeah, it's just insane. I mean, the guy has insane levels of energy. I don't know where he gets it, but like, I think a lot of people in that mob, he's famous for that, and they're trying to match that energy of his. So it's like, hey, I'm amped up like you, dude. Yeah. And then it's like, and it's overwhelming for him. Because like he's surrounded by people that are trying to match his energy, and he's just like, "Fuck, stop, dude!" Like, it's a shame. Because I mean, I got nothing against the guy. I think he's quite an interesting dude. I mean, it's quite an intense personality and energy to be around. But I find it interesting, and
I don't get the whole thing. I mean, listen, if it was Michael Jackson or like the Beatles or something, I could understand the crowds going crazy because these people had actual talent. Does this guy actually have talent? I don't know.
Well,
like, you dive bombs into a tower.
I think to kind of tap into what John was saying, it's with Michael Jackson, there wasn't social media at that point in time. So it's not like you could actually contact Michael Jackson.
True.
With people like IShowSpeed or anyone who's, on YouTube or whatever, you have a line to contact these people. So some people feel like, hey, I know this person, I post comments, I watch their stuff. They feel like they have that connection. And I think
that's a great point. Yeah, they feel like his friend.
This.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
so they're like, hey, dude, it's like, I know you, man. Like, don't you know me? And it's like, actually, I don't, because this is a one-way conversation. Okay, when you watch me on Twitch, like, I'm not talking to you. Like, it's sad.
Yeah, and this like expands to everything, like for simping, stalking behavior. Yeah, parasocial relationship. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the thing, right? This is not the first time this has happened, as not specifically with IShowSpeed, but with another huge streamer, Kai. I think it's Sinat. He had a meet and greet in Union Square in New York last year, and he actually got charged with he got criminally charged because it caused a riot, and he had to pay a big fine.
I heard about this.
So, but this goes back to this weird, like back in the day, right? We had a pretty good pretty good following back at Screw Attack. We had, several million subscribers, and the most I ever got recognized was like I was at Walgreens one day, and someone was like, "Hey, you're that guy from the internet, right?" It was never to the point like in our like little bubble, the gaming bubble, like people have an idea of who I am, right? But outside of that bubble, nobody has any idea. It has gotten to a point with these streamers where you're seeing the same reaction. It showed the reaction to the Beatles back in the day, where these people are so euphoric. They have this energy flying through them. Michael Jackson was referenced by Saint G right there. And they're right? That's what today's adults don't understand. These parents don't understand is that your kids aren't watching the Beatles or Michael Jackson. Like they know who the top pop stars are. But the true celebrities are these streamers. The true celebrities are the people that they create these parasocial relationships with, right? Mm-hmm. People talk about who's the blonde singer. She's the Taylor Swift, right? All the Swifties, right? You have all these little girls. My youngest daughter included. She loves Taylor Swift. She's like this, tall, long, lean, blonde girl, sings songs about love and heartbreak and all this stuff, and she's very relatable. But for this audience that's growing up, like Kai Cenat, IShowSpeed, these are their role models. And the fact that they're literally broadcasting their life, I hope they get to a point to where they don't have to anymore and they have enough money in their bank account. They're like, okay, we're good. We're good. I don't ever have to do this anymore. Because Speed is like, he's still really young. I think he's early 20s. Could you imagine being in your early 20s? Could you imagine being in your early 20s and having that level of just insanity around your life? You're still so young and immature and dumb at that age.
Mm-hmm. And he's live streaming it all too.
He's 19. Mm-hmm. He's 19 years old.
Wow. I thought he was older. Oh,
he kind of looks older. But Tommy in the chat makes a very interesting point. He says, what Speed did is illegal. You're not allowed to have a gathering at this size without a permit. He invited this. So I don't know the rules for Norway, obviously, but I wouldn't say he invited this, but technically speaking, he's correct. He should have had a permit or some type of permission.
Well,
if he actually wanted them all to congregate, if he didn't do it.
Right. Then, right. If he said, hey, everybody come down here, right? That's one thing. But if it was a virality thing where he's talking about where he's at and or he's showing where he's at, him at the store or whatever.
You can't really control that.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So it's dangerous. It is dangerous stuff, man.
A lot of these like young streamers aren't going to be aware of this kind of legislation where it's like, oh, I needed a permit for this scale of people. I didn't know. It's just like they amass these massive fan bases and then they announce on social media, hey, I'm going to be at this place. Whether he told people to show up or not, people are going to show up, Right. And it could be people in the thousands.
Right. And yeah, for sure. Very quickly, when you have a couple million followers, if you just play the numbers game, there's probably some in that heavy populated area that they're going to show up. It's nuts, man. It really is nuts. And I think someone's going to get hurt. Like not just, he was getting his hair pulled and all sorts of stuff on the way through. Like that's obviously unacceptable for talking about just from a human perspective. Right. But these people feel this immense social relationship, this parasocial relationship that they feel like, hey, I got Speed's hair. Look at this. And it's like, what in what world is that okay? But we're still talking about kids, we're talking about 17, 18, 19-year-old kids who are like, as John, you said, they're trying to match the energy and they're trying to go viral off of that moment. It's like, and in return, they're looking
even like the people who buy like the bathwater of streamers and stuff, all this parasocial relationships. Like, yeah, I have her bathwater now. It's like, ew. Yeah. Why would you want that? Be normal. Yeah.
Or like on the example of pulling his hair. That guy can be like, I'm the dude who pulled IShowSpeed's hair. Follow me on Instagram. Everybody.
Yeah, right? Like his photo is just going to be him holding the hair. Like, I'm that one.
Mighty Megatron says over on Rumble said, did you notice the crowd? It wasn't Scandinavians. I didn't really get a good look at the crowd. But
I gotta look. There was a mix of people. It's obviously, and that's why I said Oslo, because it seems like in these huge population centers in Europe, you've got a variety of people. You're going to have a more diverse group of people that are hanging out in the capital of Oslo than, say, in Stavanger, near the coast in Norway. It's going to be totally different. That's one of the things that I noticed when I did visit Europe, for example, visiting the UK. You've got a much different mix of people in London than, say, you have in Manchester. So,
all right,
I think it's just
let's go.
this behavior. Let's be real. Go back to school, guys. Learn your alphabet and your ABCs. And
put the phone down.
yeah.
It would be a much better place if social media didn't exist. I think we all agree on that. But at the same time, social media has served its purpose as far as helping educate a lot of people, but it's also dumbed a lot of people down for sure.
Yeah,
I was thinking about this the other day, actually. Like people being crazy didn't start with social media. I mean, people have always been
this is true.
crazy, but social media just makes it very apparent and cranks it up to 11. Like, you guys seen Back to the Future?
Of course.
When, you know, at the beginning where Marty McFly hooks his guitar up to the giant amp and speaker, social media is basically that giant speaker where it just cranks up to 11 and blows you away. You know,
that's like actually a really
the craziness was always there.
I love that analogy. That's awesome. Master Gawa says IShowSpeed has a company, Thumb Media, dedicated to flagging anyone reacting to his content. He flagged Kirsha last week. What? Are you serious?
I did see that. Yeah.
Wow, that's
really
messy. Well, I guess we'll very quickly see if that works. If that happens. So if you're watching the stream, post us being live, and that is clipped out. That is why. Man, that's nuts. All right, cool. Let's keep on moving. Once again, guys, appreciate your support. We'll get to every single super chat, direct donation, and Rumble rant throughout the show. Let's move on to our thumbnail story for the day, and that is this picture of hate and everything that is wrong with the internet. We're talking about PewDiePie. This post from Dexter went viral over the weekend. It says PewDiePie is truly on his loving husband and father era. This has 31 million views over on X, and it's like, why? Why does this have 31 million views? Well, let's watch the video and see why people would be so upset about this. I'm gonna bring this down so we don't have to use YouTube's new AI tool. But the long and short of it is, it just shows PewDiePie with his family making their way around, living with his kid, being in fields out in the middle of Sweden, I guess, right? And that video, this picture in particular, has people really upset. Really upset. Lorena, does that upset you at all?
No, I don't get the upset. It's a nice, pastoral looking video. You've got the family there. They're out touching grass, hanging out in nature. So what's the problem?
Really?
Well, here's the problem.
Why are people hating on it?
Lorena, because apparently it reeks of Nazism. This is a take, by the way, with 1,000 likes over on X. But we're not done there, because more people are upset here. As this person here, I like to point out, says, living proof that you can just be racist to 20% of the world and people still see you as wholesome. And this
wholesome
has
chungus. You gotta,
Yes. This has 175,000 likes. This has almost 30 million views, just as many as the original tweet here, as PewDiePie and his just being a dad now with a wife and hanging out with his family is being seen as apparently the same thing that happened in World War II with ending the life of 6 million people, apparently. So congratulations, PewDiePie. That is you've crossed something that you just can't come back from. Lorena,
make this make sense. How did we get from this family, this nice looking video with with PewDiePie and everything, to German socialists. How do you make that crazy leap of logic, folks? And help me out with this, because I don't see it.
John,
I mean, it looks to me like a white family straight out of, the J. Crew catalog when I look at that, okay?
John?
I think a lot of people have been politically brainwashed with ideas of white supremacy, and to the point where they see a family of white people and it's being successful, and they just immediately react with disgust like that's something that shouldn't be happening. I think that's one element. And then I think you have, more broadly, you have a lot of deeply unhappy, bitter, resentful people who see somebody else succeeding and thriving, and they react to that with hostility because they don't have it in their own lives.
It's pointed out by
empty people.
Peter says the only people angry at PewDiePie are people who are envious of what he has. Thank you, Peter, for your support. I don't disagree. I don't disagree with that at all. Now, obviously PewDiePie has had some controversies over the years, and I do think it's important that we talk about this, which is why I think some people are upset about this. Now, going back to his gameplay days, there was it's called the Bridge incident, and I did not recall this, but says the vast majority of PewDiePie scandals have been caused by one thing: PewDiePie getting carried away with his outgoing online persona. It's almost like exactly what we just saw with iShowSpeed and Kai Cenat being, taking their personalities, their online personas to the next level. It says often taking an offensive joke too far. While playing a video game in a live stream, PewDiePie was caught using the N-word when shooting an opponent who was crossing a bridge. So there we go. There's that. Then there was the T-Series diss track, and I think this is where the 20% of the world comment comes in right here. As there was a time where PewDiePie was going against this Indian channel called T-Series for the most popular YouTube channels in history. I don't know if you guys recall that, kind of going back and forth several years ago. And he says, you may remember the diss tracks that were having a moment on YouTube in 2018. At the time, PewDiePie was locked in a fierce competition with T-Series, an Indian music label, battling to retain its rank as the most popular YouTube channel. As part of his Subscribe to PewDiePie campaign, PewDiePie posted a video titled Bitch Lasagna, in which he laid into T-Series, accusing the business of using bots and fake subscriptions, which is probably pretty accurate. Why was he criticized? While the diss track was meant to be funny and lean into meme culture, many found it to be racist, as the lyrics included anti-Indian slurs and referenced Indian stereotypes. Okay, there we go. And then he also made fun of addiction in 2018 after poking fun at Demi Lovato, who was hospitalized due to overdose. So there we go. That's why people are upset at PewDiePie and the success. Real quick, Blabs, would you had Googled his net worth prior to the show. Mm-hmm. And what was that at?
It was 45 million.
Okay. So PewDiePie is $45 million net worth. And I think this goes back, I mean, just my personal thoughts is that I think it goes back to what Peter said in his super chat, and John, to echo what you said, there's a lot of people who are very unhappy. And when they see this, they turn around and they say, I want that, but I can't have it because I'm a jerk, right? And they're extremely envious of everything that he has, including the $45 million. But I'm going to be very honest. I think PewDiePie is, he played his role on YouTube. He made his money. And now he's doing exactly what he should probably be doing with his money, which is nothing, living a great life, having awesome time with his wife, his family, and he's just gonna sail into the sunset. Whether he's retired or not, he has generational wealth based off of striking while the iron was hot. And whether he stops making videos tomorrow or in 50 years from now, the point is that he's done it. He's won. Like, he's conquered life. he's done everything. And no matter how successful you're going to be, no matter whether you're small or you're big, there will always be people who are envious of what you have because they don't have it. And as you continue to grow, they will always have more and more haters who become that way. And it's amazing to see people who are upset at just having a family, having a loving wife, having a loving kid, and being in a loving situation. And I really think that says a lot about society as a whole at this point right now. Lorena, you got anything on that?
I'm not too familiar with the whole PewDiePie thing, but and what he's done in the past. But I do know this much: people really need to just start minding their own business and stop hating on people that have more than you do. I mean, what does that have to do with you? And I think too many people are just envious and just want to hate rather than just say, oh yeah, that's pretty cool. I wish I had that, and go back, to my life. But again, because you have social media out here and people who have access to it, and the barrier to entry is very, very low, they do pot shots like this. And it really is, it's sad, and it's pretty pathetic, actually, if you ask me.
Right.
I think it actually has to do a lot with social media and how fake it is, right? Because people always see what you want them to see and not the whole picture and everything. So it's always like a glimpse into it. And people think, oh, you live such a perfect life. Why don't I have that? Then they start to get angry and jealous. They hate themselves. So again, I think it's just really social media that they're just living on it, and they think, oh my God, I need to have this kind of life. And then they can't have it because expectations are way too high. And then it just turns to shit. And here we are.
Right. And this is a response to that post about, the whole, 20% post down below it. And I think this guy nails it right here. Twitter moralists tend to criticize something they dislike because of their edgy behavior on the internet 6 years ago, even though that person has grown and now lives happily with their family. Right. Like, you put this whole thing in perspective, right? Where you say, well, how old is PewDiePie? PewDiePie is old enough to have made plenty of mistakes, right? He's 34 years old. 6 years ago, he's 28, and you're still figuring yourself out. I still think that it takes till you're in your 30s to kind of figure things out a little bit, and you become old enough to where you realize that you really don't know anything. There's something that I learned is that as I've gotten older, I go, I truly don't know jack anything about anything, and there's a realization to that. But he's 34 years old, has 45 million bucks, has generational wealth, not just for him, but for his kid and their kids, and that will continue to grow because I'm sure he's smart enough to invest it properly in whatever way, shape, and form. But to see the outlash or the outcry of hate because of a silly 20-second video of him living his best life is just fascinating to see. Stay-at-home Hippo came in with the 10, says, if there are people hating Pewds for having a kid, they also support having a kid. They also support having a kid as a disability, which there's more to that story for sure. Imagine hating a disabled person. Pretty ableist, isn't it? That's right, Dave. That's a reference to the story from a couple days ago where the lady was saying having a kid is like having a disability, which, by the way, her defense was this is an industry term. Well, that industry term needs to change if that's the case, because that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. That's made by people who have never had a kid or never been around kids. Miku says, is that a dragon maid? PFP? Wood chipper. Thank you. And Javi points out, says, having a family is right wing, Craig. That's right. That's been well established. The idea. Sean says, remember X's botting problem? I bet bots latched onto this and caught it on fire, and maybe a small handful of idiots are in the mix. This is true. Nathan came in and says, I think these posts are sarcastic. I shouldn't give these envious cunts the benefit of the doubt, but we could be confusing joke posts with legit ones. I don't know, man. Like, I don't think 120,000 people who liked that post are that smart, to be honest with you, to get that humor. Rebound came in and says, communists hate the nuclear family and seek to destroy it. Their whole shtick is deconstruction of traditional values so they can have their revolution. Well, ain't gonna fly.
I think that's true. Yeah, that's a component of it.
Vamp Lord says they hate PewDiePie because they are Marxist, and Marxism is anti-whiteism and anti-Western civilization. They hate capitalism because they hate European. Thanks, Vamp Lord. Appreciate that. Well, like, you can hate PewDiePie for whatever reason you want. I don't think that this is a good reason to hate him. just me. You know, you can hate him for whatever you want. But all right, there we go. Let's see. Oh, it's Friday. Let's do a quick clown world. Let's do it. Let's hop in the spaceship and let's make our way over. We're gonna transport all the way from Dallas and Florida all the way to Canada, apparently. Let's make our way in. Where's my clown world? Where are you? Need to find it. Come on, keep looking for it. Let's get in. There we go.
Clown. Clown.
All right. John, I know you get that reference, don't you?
Wayne's World, I think.
Yes, Wayne's World. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to land in Vermont here in Clown World, as we're going to go to Ben & Jerry's ice cream. Now, I don't know if you guys have had Ben & Jerry's in a while, but admittedly, their ice cream is very good. But I'm also a big fan of voting with your wallet. And Ben & Jerry's just released their latest commercial. Let's check it out.
Oh, Lord.
You can make progress by doing the things you love.
If you can farm, fight food deserts. If you can surf, surf for racial justice. Like to read? Start a banned book club. Protest with an ice cream cone, or project new meaning on an outdated statue. Get in a costume, but try not to get arrested. You have the tools for doing good, and the greatest tool is your own unique flavor. Ben & Jerry's.
Make some mother chunkin' change.
I have a question. And this is a legit question, right?
Racial justice.
How do you surf for racial justice?
You know what, Craig? You asked the question I was going to ask. I'm like, what? Surf for racial wait, what?
It says surfers hold a paddle out to support BLM movement and police reform. Do you think that with this paddle out, any change happened, or did they just all feel better after doing it?
Maybe all the sharks were like,
I think they all felt better, although they may not feel better considering how much of that money BLM kept for themselves. But that's
most of it. Yeah.
How
How's those mansions doing?
Yeah.
I love the idea of a shark approaching and then seeing the surfboard, like, oh, Black Lives Matter. Sorry.
I'm sorry. My bad. You do your thing, boo.
I also greatly appreciate that in their promo material, they had to edit and put clouds over people with naked hyenas.
How is indecent exposure fighting and activism? Like, I don't.
Yeah, I was just thinking this. I find it interesting that they are censoring this from video broadcast, but if you're actually there taking your children to this parade and shit, then it's all fine to see this shit. I mean, either it's okay or it's, to see that stuff, or it's not.
I think they just want to get this out everywhere, and so to get out everywhere, you have to abide by the rules and regulations of media.
Listen to this terminology here. There's so much like word gibberish in this that it's so confusing. Pay attention.
If you can farm, fight food deserts.
If you can farm, fight food deserts.
What is a food desert? Like,
I don't know. They just
does that mean like where there's no food and where there's no fields or whatever? Like cities?
How did Michelle Obama try to explain this? That food deserts is if you're in the inner city and you don't have access to healthy foods. Like literally, that's what she said.
So to
combat food deserts, I guess they want you to make your own urban gardens, which there's plenty of urban gardens. There aren't food deserts. There are just supermarket chains who were pulled out of the inner cities since people aren't the local governments aren't combating shoplifting the way that they should. So instead of staying there and losing money, they left. That's what that is.
Wild.
Well, now we know we have new terms that we can just make up, which is great. Yeah, it's good.
I learned food desert today.
Congratulations. Yeah, John, you got anything on Ben and Jerry's? What's the last Ben and Jerry's flavor you had?
Chunky. Man, I can't even remember the last time I had Ben and Jerry's because I've always just gone for cheaper options. You know.
Oh my God.
I can't remember either. Like, haven't had Ben and Jerry's in years, like 5-6 years. Ever since they started doing their whole propaganda, trying to tell people what they can and cannot do, I was like,
yeah,
I'm out. And there's tons of other better options out there that are healthier, taste better, cheaper, whatever it is. I'm like, I don't need you. Bye. So.
No, nobody wants to pay $5 for a pint of Ben and Jerry's ice cream.
Well, so-
I haven't bought Ben and Jerry's in, like, I want to say probably 15 years when they really started the like craziness with the I call it activist entertainment. I don't really call it woke with that crap. So I was like, no, I don't buy that. You know what? I can go to Target. I can get, store brand chocolate chip cookie dough ice cream. My favorite, Bluebell, although I really try to ignore it when I see that because Bluebell ice cream is just so freaking good. Oh my God, it's so
good stuff.
It's so delicious. Publix has their own store brand of chocolate chip cookie dough, which is way better than Ben and Jerry's, and I get twice as much as I do. Ben and Jerry's, your regular people aren't going out and buying Ben and Jerry's, nor going to their ice cream shops.
Yeah,
it's tourist thing. No, it's
Ben and Jerry's is like when you actually find a Ben and Jerry's store, you're like, oh my God, I never see these. Or for like the Hamptons or something, all the elites are like, Ben and Jerry's, I must go. But I don't really think a whole lot of people go.
I'm saving the environment going to Ben and Jerry's. I'm like, nah.
I'm doing like a freaking surf for them. I save the environment by surfing. It's like, okay. But yeah, my dad actually has an ice cream machine and he makes amazing ice cream. So I'll just rather just eat my dad's ice cream.
Well, so I actually have bad news for everybody.
Oh dear. They're actually doing really well, aren't they?
Ben and Jerry's is killing it. Yeah, they are killing it. They, as far as their revenue goes, they are second behind private labels like white labeled ice cream that you see in, you go to Walmart or you go to Target. It's like the generic store brand, right? So that's the biggest. But as far as brand name ice cream, it's number 2, or I guess it's number 1 in front of Haagen-Dazs.
All right, we're all going to Haagen-Dazs together.
Yeah, yeah. Haagen-Dazs needs to be higher. Bluebell definitely needs to be higher.
Where's Breyers in this one? Oh, there it is, down there. Okay.
There you
I
go.
haven't had Breyers in I don't know how long.
Vote with your wallet.
Yeah.
Apparently, people are very, very passionate about their cause until it comes to good tasting ice cream. So, anyways, by the way, speaking of, I do think it's very, very funny that in the middle of their, like literally halfway through, they throw in a little sales pitch for you to vote to have some social justice with your ice cream.
Book club. Protest with an ice cream cone or
like what?
Protest with an ice cream. Okay.
Yeah, specifically Ben and Jerry's ice cream cone, by the way. All right, let's go to another fan of Ben and Jerry's. This took place at the Seattle Pride Festival, where notable women's soccer player Megan Rapinoe was in the parade, and she was asked about males being able to play in women's competitive professional sports when her team had actually lost to a team of high school boys back in the day. Did you guys see this clip being passed around?
Yes.
She
disgusts me.
She just,
like I just look at her and I'm like, ugh. Like you need to shower, you need to clean yourself up. I don't know what it is. You were ick.
Well, here we go. Let's check out. Let's see how she responded to this, because she's very much into men playing with boys. I'm sorry, men playing with girls, which probably ends up being men playing with boys at the end of the day. Let's check this out.
Your U.S. women's soccer team famously lost to high school boys. Do you really think it's fair for these same boys to be competing in girls' sports?
Okay, this is her wife over here. Clearly heard the question. It's like, you don't need to answer that. And did you see her, like, the notable scoff that she has? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Is she trying to pretend to be Elton John with the hair and glasses?
Don't even insult Elton John with that. He's fabulous.
I know, but like Elton John can rock it, she can't.
So here we go. She gets a question from a journalist. I think it's a fair question. I really do think it's a fair question.
Yeah.
So.
Your team famously lost to high school boys. Do you really think it's fair for these same boys to be competing in girls' sports? Do you think it's fair?
I'm gonna hit for my red solo cup.
Yeah, I'm just gonna pretend like I didn't hear it, and then security. She's like, security.
Against young girls. Do you not think that they're gonna get hurt? Are they gonna get hurt? I'm a journalist. I just want to know.
Look at security just bouncing, having a good time.
Probably like, I want to hear the answer to that question too, but I want to clock.
I want to get paid.
Yeah, well, you see what she did. She went straight for her cup, her beverage.
Yes.
Drank a bit so she can stall for time, and then she looked at her shirt like, "Ooh, did I spill some?" Ooh. Immediately takes another drink, like stalling until she gets driven out, or her bodyguard tells the people to fuck off. Like, yeah.
I feel like
that security guard was trying not to bust out laughing. You can tell he was right on the edge.
What you don't know is that in that drink, she was just drinking more of the Kool-Aid. You know, more of the insanity Kool-Aid, which is good. So, but of course, when asked actual basic common sense questions, she had no response at all. Because, hey, guess what? She's out. She's retired at this point. She doesn't need to suffer the consequences. She's made her money. She's the marshal of the parade, right? It's, oh my gosh. Of course, there's no response to that. You guys got anything else? Blabs, do you have anything on that before we move on?
I don't like Megan. She can go kick rocks and then break her big toe.
Well, it wouldn't matter because she's retired already.
Yeah, but at least she'd have some pain.
Oh, that's good. And Blabs is out here looking for pain.
Yeah, in Pal World, YouTube.
Yes, in Pal World. All right, let's go to one last story here. As listen, we've had a lot of interesting stories about the airline industry over the last few months, but this one, tell you what, this one is pretty silly. It's like, as American Airlines was forced to make an emergency landing in New York. And let's play the guessing game. John, you have one guess as to why American Airlines was forced to make an emergency landing. When Lorena returns, she'll have a guess. And Blabs, you know this. So, John, let's start with you. Why would American Airlines, and chat, obviously you guys as well, why would American Airlines be forced to make an emergency landing in New York?
I imagined engine failure. Some component failing. Because they would have checked to make sure the fuel was there's enough fuel in it. So I don't know what else really.
I'd like to point out that Blabs highlighted that comment, not me. That was Blabs.
Meltdown.
Jack, all good questions. Okay, well, in the interest of time, let's keep on moving forward. Oh, you know what, Lorena, we have a question for you. We're playing the guessing game. American Airlines was forced to make an emergency landing in New York, right? We're playing the guessing game. Why do you think they were forced to make an emergency landing in New York?
Probably somebody got too drunk and went crazy.
Oh, you know what? That's good. If you had peeing in the aisle and exposing yourselves on your bingo card, you would be correct. As
maybe he was too drunk and pissed on the carpet.
Why couldn't it have just been engine failure?
Oh my gosh!
Blabs, Lorena was correct.
Yes.
A boozed up passenger forced an American Airlines flight to make an emergency landing in Buffalo after he was caught exposing himself and pee-peeing in the aisle. Oregon native Neil McCarthy, who's 25 years old, admitted to cops he was, quote, flicking the bean.
A dude?
aboard the flight to New Hampshire Wednesday, and he blamed it on a medical urination problem. So there you go. McCarthy told police that he was drinking heavily throughout his journey and that he had several Jack and Cokes before boarding the initial plane flight in Portland. So he was in a layover and making his way. They had to, or I guess he was on his way from Portland and making his way all the way over there, and they had to stop in New York there. So the flight had a layover in Chicago, where he allegedly told police continued to guzzle down several more whiskeys and colas before joining on the next flight to New Hampshire, and he didn't quite make it there. So
this makes no sense, though. He said he's flicking the bean. He's a dude.
Yeah, I mean, I assume this guy identifies as a man. He's being reported as a man, but he's saying that he was flicking his bean. Like, what?
Yeah.
What's that about?
It's an it.
Okay, now let's talk about this, though, because he was charged with indecent exposure, which carries a maximum sentence of 6 months in prison. Now, you may be asking yourself, why is that a big deal? Why is that a big deal? Because let me tell you why. Because if you go back 2 stories ago and we look at this this wonderful post from Ben and Jerry's, what is happening here?
It's not allowed in the sky, but it's allowed on land.
That's right. Where every single one of these persons should be charged with indecent exposure, right?
Mm-hmm.
Every single one of them. And they all should be 6 months in jail here. But this is kind of where we're at in society, where apparently it takes getting lubed up and getting on a flight and flicking the bean to get 6 months in jail. So there we go.
Well, I was listening to a clip recently regarding where the line is exactly drawn when it comes to, I think, San Francisco law enforcement, where they say this is fine if they start like masturbating or whatever, or if they start engaging with the public in some context that involves their genitalia, then that's a criminal offense. But if they're just simply walking around naked, it's fine. I mean, I don't know what the specific law is in San Francisco, but
see, I thought when you said drawing a line, I thought like altitude wise, not like.
Oh no, I meant the parade stuff.
Like
yeah.
after like a mile up in the air, it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, at 10,000 feet, it's okay to go.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine getting on the internet? Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We have 10,000 feet. You are now clear to flick the bean and enjoy your Jack and Cokes. Have fun.
Oh no!
It's just spectacular stuff.
Stuff happens on airplanes.
Just a bonus content for Lorena because she guessed so well. There was another incident of a plane doing an emergency landing, and it was because the food was toxic. And so everybody was shitting their pants and there wasn't enough bathrooms. So there was an emergency landing. I think it was like JFK or something like that. So yeah. Why wasn't it engine failure, says John? But yeah. No, it was just sick, dude. And everybody was sick. Like 6 people were like apparently really sick.
Oh, that's awful.
I heard about that diarrhea story. Apparently it was like up and down the aisle. It's like one guy with the shits running back and forth. Like, what are you doing, dude?
He's trying to find a bathroom.
He didn't quite make it.
Goes all the way to one end of the plane. He's like, oh shit, it's fucking locked. God damn it. Waddles all the way to the other side.
Oh,
pants around his ankles.
I can't imagine the smell in that plane. Oh,
that's been awful.
Oh my God.
What's wrong with these airlines?
More reasons to go back home and take your road trip instead of hitting the skies. So
Yikes.
Gas up, kids, and hit the open roads. Looking like it's a better opportunity.
I think there's lots of gas on that plane. Yes.
They don't. Love that. All right, let's get back on the plane and depart, and let's head back to normal world over here. This has been Clown World.
Clown. Clown.
All right. Thank you for that. That was wonderful. All right, you guys have been spectacular. You've had a lot of support today. We're going to read every single super chat, Director Nations. Let's get to them, Blabs. I'll be right back.
Okay, the worthy one says, "Hey Craig, Jake the Snake Roberts DDT or Ravens even flow DDT?" Hello,
And
you're still back.
Jake the Snake had the best DDT. It would just nail people down. You got to remember, he was like the first to do the DDT, right? That really gave the DDT some gumption. When Jake the Snake hit you with a DDT, it was over. It wasn't like you see in DDTs today in wrestling where everybody's hitting them. Like, it was the game changer. It was done when Jake the Snake. So Jake the Snake gets that. I'll be right back.
Okay. All right. We'll wait for Craig again. Matt says that chick needs some WD-40 ASAP in regards to the laughing woman. That's awesome. Okay. Josh is a member for 20 months. Thank you very much. Mr. Big says, why would you bring that sound back? Sorry, but you're welcome. Crumbs Mountain says, hey, here's $2. Don't ever play that sound again. Maybe next week. Epson Alma says Disney Swingers is why PewDiePie escaped to Japan. Here's the thing, though. I think the Disney Swingers thing was a skip, but we don't know because they're that crazy, those two. Benjamin says, why does the twink look like James Charles? Thank you, Benjamin. Young says, Craig, if you like DuckTales, play Shovel Knight. I will save that one for him again. Let me get these. Okay, Cryptic says, Ghetto Gumbo must have hot dogs and Spam. JK. Ugh. Xander, that one's for Craig. Why does Craig go away for everything? Okay. John, hi, Big Bad John. He says, the thing about living in the gray is that people let things get very dark before they start calling it black again. It's true. This in regards to the infertility stuff.
Right.
Minor says, F that, start using Sezo AI music from now on. Thank you, Minor. Miku says, coherency contest. Master Chief versus Debate Biden. Guess that one's for you, John.
Good idea. Yeah.
You gonna do that? That'd be funny. Arby and the Chief does politics.
Well, I already did a political debate thing but it was Canadian politics. So,
you should do it with Biden. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
Yavi says, remember, folks, it's only treason if you lose.
I saw that meme.
Yeah.
Peter says, the Calgary Stampede, the greatest outdoor show on earth, has kicked off today. Can I get a Yahoo from the folks on the panel? Yahoo!
Yahoo!
There you go. Look at that. That's from the real Canadian over there, too. Miku says, we nibbas can't swim. What the fuck? Oh my god. Is that for, like... What is that for? I don't even know. You know what? Move on. Thanks, Miku.
I don't know. I know I can swim very well. Thank you very much. Anyway.
Yeah. Dead Fly says, are they still trying to push BLM? I mean, most people learned that BLM org was a sham. I think they just don't want to accept the fact that they were tricked. And so they're just like doubling down, some of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm. I love Craig's avatar, by the way, up there. It's just upset. Josh says, Tillamook ice cream for the win. I don't know that one.
Ooh, Tillamook is the devil.
Good. We have some super chats for you, actually, Craig.
Oh, good.
Chancho, I guess you say it, says, hi, Craig. Does Blue Bonnet offer creatine? Also, happy American Pride Month.
Hey, thanks. Yeah. It's a normal man month here on the channel. No, we don't offer creatine yet. We will. Part of phase one, I've worked with Beardo, who is an expert in the vitamin space, to create a program we're offering. We're going to have multiple phases roll out, and in future phases, creatine will be offered. So, yes, once again, you guys can use promo code FREEDOM at bluebonnetsupplements.com. A couple of you guys have already picked them up today. Really appreciate that. And get 25% off your order. And like I said, I literally use them every single day. As a matter of fact, I'm going to use some right now. So continue, Plebs.
Aki says, Bandai known for their Gundam model kits, Craig.
Oh, yeah, Gundam. That's all Bandai. I forgot.
Young Sykes. Craig, if you like DuckTales, play Shovel Knight.
I have devoured Shovel Knight. I ate it all up, and I spit that out. It's so good. So good.
Xander says, Craig, when are you doing the one-chip challenge?
Well, you're in luck, Xander. Because starting next week, once again, we're going to do, it's not necessarily one chip. It's going to be up to 16 chips. Because we're going to do the 16 flavors of all this. So, yes, we'll start next week. for the 100s. We'll come in and I'll throw a little bit of this on every single, going from 1 to 16 and spice. So yes, starting next week.
Ooh. Sergey says, us normal men are celebrating Normal Men Month and let their men have their time of the month.
I got bad news for you, bud.
I got news for you. Blah says, did Ben and Jerry's ever give that land back to that native tribe? Oh yeah, they were talking about that
Good
shit.
question.
Not yet. Their factory's still on that native land, and they have yet to relinquish.
Awkward.
Yeah.
The Worthy One says, I would like to have a word with whoever came up with that commercial. I just want to talk. Yeah, I want to understand their process.
Just want to talk.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Melancholy says, didn't Megan cost Victoria's Secret money? Tons of money. She is horrible. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I
business
heard they finally dumped that whole thing, so they're going back to what works.
Sexy women?
Yeah, sexy women in cool looking lingerie.
Miku says, wrapping up, more exploding knees than RG3.
RG3, yeah.
Thank you, Miku.
That's a Colts reference.
Oh. Aaron says, you can't blame the man on the New York flight. He had a situational disability.
Great point. Great point. Yeah, excellent point right there.
Miku says, that's a new addition to the Mile High Club. Ugh. Yeah.
Gross.
Our name is Legion says, Craig, you might want to check Kratos El Greato's donation history. I think he might be a money laundering. No one can afford to donate this much so consistently on a monthly basis.
Well, I'll make sure to dig into that. If he's laundering money through side scrollers, we'll take it.
Nick Brown says, please enjoy your complimentary towels and lotion. Oh no!
Oh,
if it's ever offered on a plane when you board, you probably should get off. Just throwing it. Not that way either.
Just my God! Thomas says, did you see that video from China? An old lady graping a dude's D for exposing himself and not letting go. Awesome! She grabbed his dick, was like, no, look at this!
Look at this! Look at this!
Should have been like,
oh,
give me that thing. What's this doing out here?
Oh my gosh.
That's too funny. Mika says, BLM. Hey, where's that Kroger's at? I don't know what that means. Does anyone know what that means? Anyway. Yavi says, Craig, Shite Camel Clutch or Steiner Recliner?
The Sheik Camel Clutch this Saturday. Thank you. I'm telling you, I need to do a wrestling show. I'm going to go with the Steiner Recliner just because for Steiner math. That's it. That's the only reason why.
And Grumpy finishes off, says, B&J is an activist company that sells ice cream. Yeah.
A lot of truth in that. 100%.
It used to be something. Just an ice cream.
Over on Rumble, we have Siver says apparently Blabs purposely conflates Aussie prisoner Charles Bronson for movie star Charles Bronson for clickbait's titles and donations, or for clickbait rage bait clicks and donations. That's right, Siver. That's right.
You're welcome. I didn't know I was doing this on purpose, but you're welcome.
Do you have any more hot takes on Charles Bronson?
No.
All right.
Nothing on it. Tom Hardy played him in a movie.
Shane came in with the 10 over on Rumble. Says, Craig, I didn't get to finish your stream yesterday. I was curious if you got to do more hot sauce. Lastly, you could leave the hot sauce in your purse like some lady that was pandering for votes. That's right. No, I will not be putting any hot sauce in my purse. Shane, I'd have to have a purse first. Only got through yours, but like I said, hopefully that changes for the rest of the month. Mighty Megatron says arroz con frijoles rojos is the shit, Craig. You need to hit up Dominican or Puerto Rican restaurant. Queen.
Oh, yes. Seasoned black beans. I make that actually.
Mm-hmm. Bronson, I thank you very much for your support over there. And Left Cross says, not sure if you know, Craig, Megan Rapinoe's wife is Sue Bird. I think we all know that what a dude would do in the WNBA. So I'd love to hear Sue Bird's answer to that question. Yeah, I agree. That'd be a really good question to ask them for sure. Aiden came in with a $2 direct donation. Says, later yesterday, I'll head to the mall and wear my newly acquired American Pride t-shirt. I don't care if I offend anyone. Why would you offend anybody? That's silly. He says, then I'll play more Stellar Blade to get my mind off that god awful music video for any good reason. Yes, that was a tough one. Sorry to expose that to you earlier. Then Aiden came back with two more. Says socialism, Maoism, and Stalinism, Leninism, Marxism are the reasons why not only made people live miserable lives economically and politically, but also end up dead. Thank you, Aiden. Speaking of that American Pride t-shirt, Honey Badger picked it up over in the store. Thank you so much, Honey Badger. Go pick up that American Pride t-shirt right there. I know it's July 5th. It's a little late, but you can still pick it and still wear it every single day. You can also pick up my Kiddos Let Us Skateboard t-shirt. By the way, we'll have a new shirt coming very, very soon. Or actually, we're going to be focusing on a hat this month. We're going to have a new hat this month.
You don't tell me these things. I'm surprised.
Because I'm the one working with the designer. So, yeah, how'd it go? And Siver came in with a $5 direct donation. Says, Ben and Jerry's have always been leftist groomers. Note that they want children reading, quote, banned, a.k.a. porn books in that ad. Not to mention pushing burn, loot, murder. I don't purchase their ice cream due to it, though I overheard Unilever has divested some back to B&J. Thanks, Siver. Appreciate that. All right. Also, over here on, wow, you guys keep going with over here on YouTube. Runefang says, am I the only one who thought Megan looked like Tony Hawk in drag?
I can't unsee that now, dude.
Benjathan says, welcome to the family, Gregory. Godfather Kratos treats us well. Kratos. Okay. Anakin's burnt wiener came back. Says, almost survived another 4th of July. Well, I'm sorry about that, Anakin's burnt wiener. Almost did it. Not quite. Was one of the best names on YouTube. And Taker says, diarrhea on a plane, the unsuccessful follow-up to snakes on a plane. Diarrhea on the plane. Thank you, Taker. Appreciate that. And Mighty Megatron wants to know about the Steiner recliner or Bob Backlund's cross-face chicken wing. Listen, if we're doing tier rankings of wrestling finishers, all right, I think that's an entirely separate stream. But for this instance right here, I would say with Bob Backlund, because Bob Backlund is not the physical specimen of the Steiner recliner, and he can take people out with that chicken wing without anything else. It's clearly more powerful than the Steiner recliner. All right. Guys, thank you very much for popping in today. I would love for you guys to go subscribe to Lorena's channel and, of course, John's channel. Lorena, what do you have going on for everybody right now?
Well, folks, what I have going on coming up actually Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to be having a watch party on my channel for Star Trek 5. So come out and hang out with us as we watch that and reminisce about what I would call one of the most maligned original series movies. So please come out and check that out.
Hold on.
I was like, should I just go ahead or wait for Craig to say?
I'm kind of taking it a little easy for the next couple of days with streaming. But I was at Walt Disney World on July 3rd, July 4th, so you can go back and check those streams out as well.
Aren't you absolutely exhausted after like just a day in Disney because it's so hot out?
I am, yes, because it's hot out. It's crazy, and then my phone will start to overheat because of how hot it is. Because it's like 105 with the heat index out there, you know. So in the fall, I stream longer because it's nice and it's cooler and all that. But yeah, it's just like I'm exhausted. It's like in one of the Super Mario games where the sun is trying to kill you. That's how it is in Florida right now.
Guys. John, before we get to wrap up, I get to use our breaking news sounder. We got a little breaking news, which we can't wait till Monday on this one. All right. So this is interesting, and this just came down the pipe. Do you like that one, John? Do you like that intro? Pretty good.
That was great. I'm excited.
Yeah,
I get to be part of a breaking news segment. Let's go.
Yes. All right. Dragon Quest 3 is coming out soon. And this is the latest of the insanity in the video game space and why this show exists, as Dragon Quest III HD 2D remake has now apparently removed gender from the game. Let's check out this story here, as Square Enix has confirmed more info on their Dragon Quest III HD 2D remake, seemingly removing the concept of gender from the long-awaited remake. A new article from the game reintroducing the main protagonist, who in the original Dragon Quest III was the only male character, and in its SNES remake could be male or female. The new Dragon Quest III, however, lists the two genders as the dreaded Type A and Type B instead of male or female. This is an article. It also confirms, despite removing biological genders from the male and female protagonists, their voices are played by male and female. So A or B is still male or female. They just don't want to identify that. Furthermore, the artwork shown for the version of the hero definitely looks like a biological male or female, according to the source. So here we go. We have the male over here, and I'm guessing this. Yeah, we have the female right here. Any thoughts on this, guys, as we go here? This is a reoccurring theme in the video game space where we're no longer saying male or female. We're saying A or B. A question for you, Lorena. Does that offend you? Like the fact that they just don't even want to include female in this anymore?
It does, because they've gone from making women no longer look like women, making them basically members of, the flat ass society and the itty bitty titty committee. I'm not happy with that. That's not the type of characters that, that I like to play, to eliminating it altogether, which is insulting. It's one of the most frustrating things about getting back into gaming for me, because for a while it's like, I was busy raising, my daughter. So I didn't play video games. I paid the money for the video games that she was playing, so I didn't get to play. So within the past year or so, now that I've gotten back into gaming, I'm just like, what the heck has happened here? This is nuts.
Yeah, I'm with Lorena.
Pisses me off, really.
The body type 1, 2 or type A, B thing. I mean, this is a thing that's in a bunch of games now, and it strikes me as frustrating and cowardly, because the different types are fundamentally based on the male and female body shapes. And it just reeks of more of that ESG bullshit. And until BlackRock and it's fucking all that money fucks off, this is going to keep being an issue again and again, because it's just too much money for these companies to ignore. Because it'd rather take a giant ESG cash injection rather than rely on the wealth generated organically by making pro-consumer decisions, like Valve, for instance. So yeah.
Like this A and B 1, 2 body type. This is in a lot of major games. Hogwarts Legacy, Elden Ring, if I'm not mistaken. It's everywhere, and I find it very disgusting and very insulting, especially because we can't even have women anymore. Like, we have documentaries. What is a woman? Like, seriously, what are we? Like, this is stupid. This is why I'd rather go play like tycoon type games where you park management, or the old video games, because there's no bullshit in there. It's just a fun game. I don't have to worry about A, B, 1, 2. Like, what is this? Anyway, dumb. I think it's stupid.
Why are y'all scared of titties? That's all I want to know.
Lorena gets it.
Labs, please clip that real quick. Just Lorena, blow up her face really big, and that's all. I just want that clip of her saying that. That'd be great. Thank you very much for future reference. It fits very well. For sure. Well, I think once again, it's a nonstop trend, man. Nonstop trend in the gaming space. This has been insane to say the least. I don't even know what to do about that. But the question is, if you don't, or it's more of a statement, if you don't like it, don't buy it. That's it. Let them know. Speak with your wallet. Hey, and Dylan came in, letting us know he had a hangover, and now the hangover's gone. Hey, thanks, Dylan, over on Rumble. Dylan, longtime little troll back in the day on Screw Attack back in the day when he was like 12 years old. Now he's grown up. Now he can drink beer. So good for him. Meek, who smells worse, Disney swingers or comp smashers? Miku, these are great questions that I don't have the answer for. Johnny came and says, guaranteed that's a localization issue for the Dragon Quest remake. I doubt the Japanese release eliminated a gender thing. Well, there is an article that links to a post about this. So, we can do a little digging. Like I said, this is breaking news. So we haven't had a chance to really dig into it. Hobby came back, says, type A, you mean a man? B, you mean a woman? Yes, Hobby. Thank you for bringing it. All right. Thank you guys very much for tuning in. John, tell everybody where they can find you, my man.
John Graham on YouTube. I've been taking production break this past month just because I've been moving and it's a big pain in the ass. So I've just been kind of taking it easy on that front. But I'm still working on my Cops and Aliens show that I'm making with Halo Reach. And I got a new Arby and the Chief idea I'm developing where I got a couple, actually. I want to do one where Chief becomes the new head of Xbox.
Oh, nice.
And also, I might combine it with the idea of, because, Halo is less popular these days, and it's a shame. And my ideas for Chief is so upset about that, he builds a time machine and goes back to the 2000s to relive the glory days. Yeah. So it'd be like going through the different phases, generations of console gaming. Yeah.
You gotta do an RB and the Chief meets Joe Biden or something.
Yeah. I'll think about that one.
Love it.
That and his animatronic at the Hall of Presidents, which is much more coherent than he is right now.
All right, you guys go subscribe to Blabs over there. Go subscribe to Lorena and John. Obviously, you can find me over on the Side Scrollers Plays channels Mondays and Wednesdays. Once again, a totally separate channel. You guys have a great rest of your day. Enjoy your holiday weekend. We'll be back at it again Monday at 11 a.m. Central Time when we're bringing common sense back to the video game and entertainment space. Do us a favor, spread the word if you're new to the channel. Make sure you guys subscribe and join us then. We can't wait to see you back. Have a great rest of your weekend. Don't blow off anything. And
sorry, we just got a locals tip just now.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you just sent a locals tip for Don. It says, how about option C? Your way out of here with this nonsense. Thank you, Just.
There you go. All right, you guys have a great weekend. Thank you very much for getting in under the horn right there. You guys, we'll see you guys later. Remember, people are going to try to keep you down. Don't let them. You guys got a goal. Go get it. Stay off your planes and go on some road trips. See you guys. Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys.